You were never supposed to notice this, and once you do, it is impossible to unhear. Because buried beneath the melodies you grew up with, beneath the songs that shaped your moods, your memories, your identity, there is something else riding the sound waves. Something that does not announce itself. Something that does not ask permission. Something that only reveals itself when you listen differently. It usually starts the same way for everyone. An old clip, a dusty vinyl record. Someone drops the needle, lets the song play, then spins it backward. At first it sounds like noise, coincidence. And then suddenly, unmistakably, there are words, clear phrases, mocking laughter, commands, names, messages that were never meant to be heard forward. And once you hear them, the question is unavoidable. If this is fake, why do so many people hear the same thing? The official explanation has always been convenient. Pareidolia. Your brain wants to hear patterns. It is coincidence. It is imagination. But that explanation collapses when listeners, isolated from each other, report identical phrases. Not similar impressions, not vague feelings, the same words, the same tone, the same intent. And when artists are confronted, the reactions are rarely calm curiosity. They deny, they laugh, they deflect, they move on quickly, because acknowledging the question is more dangerous than answering it. But backmasking is only the doorway. It is the bait. It is the thing you can be shown without being told why it matters. The deeper issue is not reverse lyrics. It is how sound interacts with the human mind when you are not consciously aware of it. Music does not need words to communicate. Long before language, sound controlled emotion, movement, and behavior. Rhythm synchronized tribes. Drums prepared people for war. Chants induced trance. That knowledge never disappeared. It just changed hands. Modern music is layered in ways most listeners never consider. Beneath the vocals and melody are frequencies that you do not consciously register, but your nervous system does. Whispers mix just low enough to evade awareness. Tones below the threshold of hearing that still interact with the brain. Your subconscious does not need permission to listen. It listens by default. And once information enters there, it bypasses skepticism entirely. This is where the discomfort begins, because studies have shown that sound can influence mood instantly. Anxiety, aggression, sadness, euphoria, all can be triggered by specific frequencies and rhythmic patterns. Now consider how often music is playing around you, in your car, in stores, in headphones, at the gym. While you sleep, you are bathing your nervous system in carefully engineered sound for hours every day. And almost no one asks who decided what those sounds should do to you. Repetition is the mechanism that locks it in. Choruses are not repeated because they are poetic. They are repeated because repetition is how the brain learns without effort. Hooks loop. Phrases repeat. The meaning dissolves consciously while embedding subconsciously. This is not accidental. Rituals work the same way. Repetition induces compliance. Trance. Synchronization. When thousands of people chant the same words in unison, something happens that cannot be reduced to entertainment. Look closely at the lyrics themselves. Themes of possession, ego death, loss of control, worship of excess, dissent disguised as liberation. These ideas appear again and again across genres that claim to have nothing in common. Then look at the imagery that accompanies them. Symbols repeated across artists who swear they never coordinated. The same motifs, the same visual language, always framed as art, always protected by irony, always dismissed as coincidence. Then there are the interviews that never quite sit right. Artists who say they do not remember writing certain songs, who describe entering a state where the music flows through them, who use words like channeling, tapping in, letting it come. They are not claiming demons. They are describing dissociation, a feeling of being a conduit rather than a creator. And when the audience laughs, it becomes easier to ignore how often the same descriptions appear. Why is this topic mocked so aggressively? That is the real tell. Ideas that are truly harmless are ignored. They fade. They do not need ridicule. But the moment someone questions whether sound is being used to influence consciousness without consent, the response is immediate. Labels, jokes, eye rolls. Conversation shut down. The defense is emotional, not rational, and that should raise alarms. This is not about believing in demons hiding in your playlist. That framing is a distraction. The real question is far more unsettling. If sound can shape emotion, behavior, and perception, who controls how it is deployed at scale? Why are people never informed? Why is the default assumption that influence without awareness is acceptable as long as it is profitable or entertaining? Music is not evil. Sound is not evil. But influence without consent is manipulation by definition. And the idea that nothing could ever be hidden in something so ubiquitous and powerful requires more faith than skepticism ever did. Once you realize that your emotional state can be adjusted by rhythm alone, the line between art and conditioning becomes uncomfortably thin. You are not being asked to panic. You are not being told what to believe. You are being asked to notice, to question why certain discussions are forbidden, to consider whether constant exposure to engineered sound might shape you in ways you never agreed to. Awareness is not fear, it is sovereignty. Because once you hear it, once you understand how deep it goes, you start listening differently. And the silence between the notes becomes louder than the music itself. You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our description and sign up to our free underground newsletter.